we call it War Games for a reason, because at the start of SmackDown, we learned that Jimmy Uso has a broken toe, Tangalonger has a torn bicep, Bronson Reed's dive was so bad, he's going to need surgery on his ankles. All the best to those guys, and while you never want anyone to be injured, it does now make you look at that match and go, damn, what a war. Games. Also, hello my friends, and welcome to Ups and Downs, the only review show on the planet. That's right, nobody else is reviewing wrestling apart from me, and I watch this stuff so you don't have to. Therefore, come into my humble abode as I take my finger of power, give the good bits up and the bad bits down. And if you've never watched, no, that is not a euphemism. When we get straight to a down, very personal down for me because I'm a loser, what the hell happened? We saw the Bloodline 2.0 arriving at the building when they just started to brawl with everyone, and because Apollo Crews had turned up at the building, he got absolutely murdered too. Now, one, don't understand why we keep doing this kind of stuff to Apollo, and two, in terms of the storyline, him and Baron Corbin were a tag team, and apparently one day they just went, meh, we don't want to do this anymore, and we haven't seen them since. So one of them should be on the side of a milk carton, but again, I just like Apollo Crews, so this is getting it down. When things instantly picked up, because here came the Codyth of Rhodes. Now he is really excited about Saturday night's main event because he's a paid employee and he has to say this stuff. Only kidding. He is excited because of course it is a tradition and he gets to be in the main event. I mean, Jesse Ventura is even going to be on commentary. He was about to talk about how Kevin Owens is ruining all this, when of all the people, here came Chad Gable. That's a Raw guy. Now, as we are in Minnesota, Chad pushed these together because he was born there when he told us about the WWE transfer window, which is exactly how it does sound. Over the next few weeks, people from Raw, SmackDown, and NXT will be drafted between all the brands, and the GMs are going to get together. I was like, well, who saw that coming? So somewhere Mohamed Salah's ears definitely picked up as he tries to get a better Liverpool contract, and you'd have to assume this does tie into everything with Netflix, which is going to become the A show again. Chad Gable was like, listen, we'll figure out where I am going to go, but as for you, Cody, I used to love you. I used to think you were great. Then I saw what you did to your friend Kevin Owens, and now I think you suck. He's also totally superficial and only cares about himself, because riddle me this, Cody Rhodes, why the hell would you team with somebody's mortal enemy when that guy is meant to be your best bud? That's right. It does make a good point. Cody then made me laugh because he said, well, hey, people in Minnesota, would you be my friend? Everybody went, yeah, I like codes. Do you think these people are getting to the end of the phone when you eventually do lose that title? I was like, yeah, they probably would. They'd definitely pick up. Then I'd ask him to sign an action figure. Rhodes then got super sad because he actually saw a lot of himself in Chad Gable, because he is a guy that had to come over adversity to start climbing the ladder. Because of course, weren't you once Shorty G, the walking biscuit? Because I'm not insulting you, I used to be Stardust. Then we actually got Shorty G and Stardust chance in 2024. So we are not in Toto anymore, Kansas. That's the whole point though, they were able to turn this around, and now Chad thinks he can't fail anymore. But that's not true, you stupid goober. Look at me at WrestleMania 39, you never know. Rhodes then made sure to go through the entire American-made team and put them all over, but Chad was so insulted by this, he was like, don't talk to me like I'm a child, like I'm Shorty G. If I wasn't in a suit right now, I'd kick your ass. I was like, did somebody dress you? Chad, did you put your own clothes on? Because if you did, the only person you got to blame is yourself. Of course, Cody also got mad at this and said, fine, I'm going to talk to Nick Aldis and this shall be our main event. A little bit of a spoiler, it absolutely is. And my gosh, did they have a fun, good old match. This was good as well. I was like, well, this is different, and you could see how it was going to tie in. Let's get it up. Michael Cole then doubled down on this transfer window and did make it sound like it will come to an end at the end of 2024. When we saw Bianca Belair and Naomi having a chat. Now Belair wished Naomi luck because of course she is going to be in that US title tournament. After she left, Chelsea Green and Piper Niven walked in and went, Bianca, do you remember that you're not in the tournament anymore because you had to go and help your friend? Because of course she learned halfway through a match that Jade Cargill was dead. It also kind of insinuated that Bianca isn't bothering looking for the person that did this. It was like Bianca Belair went, oh my gosh, she's totally right. Maybe it was you, Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. It's like when you haven't done your homework and you just get your book and you go tick, tick, yes, no, 46%, and you hand it in, and you have a little bit of a meltdown. Now this triggered a bit of a mini brawl, which Belair did lose, because of course she is still selling the effects of War Games. And I like that. There was a time in WWE where nobody sold anything, but go back to the real life injuries we heard about. Everybody should be showing some pain. Jesse Ventura was then shown in the front row because, yes, he will be doing commentary at Saturday's main event. Listen, shout out to all the people that were like, I don't know who Jesse Ventura is. Nothing wrong with that. That's the way we learn. That's how we educate and how we do learn about the past. But there are a few of these people who are the same people who also gatekeep wrestling on the internet. So keep being you, man. You absolutely nuts. It was right into the women's US title tournament after this as well, because it was Naomi taking on Tiffany Stratton and Elektra Lopez. Now this is why Tiffany and Naomi brawled to begin with, because of course something is going on there. And given that Stratton got a big old pop, I think something is coming. Now I get it, we were also in her hometown of Minnesota, but something smells off to me. Lopez felt totally offended she wasn't involved, so she started throwing people outside of the ring. When Stratton went after Elektra, she got a big pop. However, Tiffy clearly doesn't watch the show because she's too busy with Tiffy time, because then she went and did a pose. You cannot do that in 2024, so Naomi took her out with a crossbody and she slammed Elektra Lopez. Now all of a sudden it was Naomi on top. Tiffany then remembered all about Mario, so she did some stomps when we got all the splashes. When Lopez applied a half crab. I was like, I'm sorry, Elektra Lopez, there is no way you're from Boston. We then got all the spice roll-ups because it is the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment, but that didn't work. When Elektra decided, well, if the most devastating didn't work, maybe the least devastating will, she hit the blue thunder bomb. Did it work? Of course it didn't. It never does. Naomi finally got back to her feet and hit the rear view. When, of course, Candice LeRae ran in, because she's one of the haters of the year. She did cast distraction, and even though this happens to Naomi every single week, she was still distracted. Although fair play to her, she was still able to hit her split-leg movesault onto Elektra Lopez 1-2-0. That's actually not true at all, because instead Stratton came in, she got rid of her when WWE went for their favorite finish, because as Elektra Lopez had already been killed, Tiffany hit the prettiest moonsault ever. She got the 1-2-3, so now not only does she have the briefcase, she's going to the next round. So here is the deal. Obviously, Naomi was super upset about this, and she was super upset about what happened last week. Given that Tiffany Stratton is now getting cheers, I think we're going to do the big switcheroo, and Naomi is going to stop feeling the glow, and she's going to go heel. I tell you, my friends, that's exactly what we should do. So I think this match is going to mean even more going forward, and actually, it was pretty fun as well. So when you put that into a little package, let's get it up. When somebody was being an ass again, because the Street Profits were dead. Damn it. Nick Aldis was with them screaming, we need medical attention. I was like, yeah, no shib, Sherlock. Kind of working out why nobody has figured out who attacked Jade Cargill if you're on the case. Aldis also went and told the Motor City Machine Guns, oh, I'm so sorry, dude, I don't know what we're going to do. When Johnny Gargano walked in, like the most guilty man ever, I was like, well, I have a plan. DIY are ready to have a tag team title match. So why don't we do that? Once again, we were planting the seeds, but they're good. Now, of course, Alex Shelley and Kish Sabin did accept because they're meant to be Johnny Gargano's friend. This was just very nice stuff. When WWE did something that hurt me, but also made sense. It's like when I lost my hair. But it was Bianca Belair versus Piper Niven, and man, Bianca just decided, oh man, you want me to remind you why I should be in the singles division going for a world championship? And Piper was also like, you know what, I don't have enough respect. These two totally cooked. Chelsea Green was also on the outside being an a-hole, but Bianca was whipping all of them to begin with. And the only reason it kind of stopped, because Piper started messing with her hair. I mean, once again, I cannot sympathize. Chelsea then grabbed Bianca's foot, so she had to turn around because that's how the human body works. But when she did look at Piper Niven again, she just crushed her with a sidewalk slam. Here we go. Piper then survived the most powerful force in all of sports entertainment, the commercial break. So when we came back from advert, she was still in control when she must have been playing Arkham Asylum because she ran into the corner, and of course Bianca got out of the way, so Piper went and crashed. Belair then hit this awesome crossbody for a 1-2-ooh, but when she tried to pick up Piper, she wasn't able to do it. And why? Because she's still selling the effects of War Games. She still hit this excellent spine buster when she missed the moonsault because of Piper Niven's knees. When Piper did it again, like Britney Spears, she went for a cannonball and she totally missed. To be fair, that just fired her up. She hit this ridiculous power bomb or bomb of power for a 1-2-ooh when she also went up to the second rope because I think she was going to go for the Vader bomb. The problem was she took way too long with all of this, mostly because Chelsea Green was messing around. So Bianca Belair took her med pack, she restored her MP, and because Chelsea had gotten in the ring and she had punched her one, she went over to the ropes and she picked Piper Niven up in the KOD position. And she didn't just hit her with the cod, she walked over to Chelsea and crushed them both before she pinned Piper for the 3 count. So I'm sorry, my friends. If Bianca Belair doesn't become the world champion in 2025, somebody's been smoking crack. I shouldn't have said that. So she really couldn't have looked any more like a badass, and we have to give her the big old pusheroo next year, but also continue to do stuff with Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. They are so good together. That could be why Chelsea got murked here. Maybe she shall become the first ever US Women's Champion. I would like that a lot. We then got this video about Shinsuke Nakamura winning the US title at the weekend. I'm sorry, I'm such an idiot. Why was I going on about this new presentation not being that good? It's absolutely excellent. I think I must have had a meltdown. Blair also bumped into Naomi and said, sorry you didn't win. So I don't think that's going to go well. When Byron Saxton walked in, and I'm sorry, somebody needs to take him to court, because he was like, I should have told you. I know that Piper Niven didn't attack Jade Cargill because I was with her when it happened. I was like, it's been weeks, Byron. Why didn't you tell anyone? Now, Naomi still had a list of names about who did do it, so I'm sorry, she is totally guilty. And Bianca Belair was like, okay, well, from now on, it's on site. Doesn't that mean she's gonna kill them? I mean, it is wrestling, you never know. When WWE surprised us, and I love a surprise. Now, why Shinsuke Nakamura came to the ring, I don't know, because the entrance is so damn cool now. It's like, man, this guy is the best. But as soon as he did get to the squared circle, we got LA Knight. And obviously, here came LA Knight. And he was really pissed after Survivor Series because he had lost his championship. I was like, Shinsuke, you ain't the real deal, man, and I should still be the champ. I was like, he did beat you, La. Maybe you should come up with a different rhetoric. The big point is that he wants his rematch right now to get his championship back. I think Shinsuke must have run out of batteries because he was just stood there not moving. This is when I laughed out loud because LA Knight put on sunglasses, so if he did get misted, it wouldn't hurt his eyes. The only thing I could think of was the goggles. They do nothing. Now, it really didn't matter because Andrade was stood backstage saying to someone, listen, if they go over 5 minutes, I'm going to go out there. And as soon as they had done, he walked to the ring. You know the deal. He wants the US title too. It didn't matter though, because this is when we did get that shock, because the Bloodline 2.0 ran in and they destroyed everyone apart from Shinsuke. And I like that because, again, go and look at a picture of new Nakamura. You don't want to mess with him. This is especially true because black goo then started to come out of his mouth, and that rhymes, so it must be accurate. And even if I had a gun, I'd be like, you know what? I ain't going to shoot that guy. I'm just going to go over here and go home. For some reason, LA Knight then tried to save Andrade from the spike, but I think he was just trying to go, I'm a good guy against the bad guys, but it meant he got spiked instead. When Solo got on Mike, I was like, listen, I'm sick and tired of being a joke, and you better take me seriously. I was like, Sikoa, we're definitely laughing with you. You're really funny now. All he cares about, though, is that he is still the tribal chief, he is still the head of the table, and listen, he still has the Ulafala, and as we've been told throughout the years, as long as you have that thing, you are the tribal chief. It's very possession-based. He also said if anybody else wants to get in their business, they better acknowledge him or they will take him down. So yeah, I thought this was a really good way to get the Bloodline 2.0 cooking again. And it also made me start going, maybe Jacob Fatu could be the US champion. I am down for that. So I really like these guys, and of course I have to deal with that Tangaloa for a little bit too, but I am gonna give it an up. It was a good way to rehab them after they lost at War Games. Ciampa and Gargano were there in the back, and it looked like, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, that they'd fallen out again. But it was ruse. I'm not talking about that crappy Ubisoft game from years ago. They were just tricking us because they had a bigger plan. This is when we got to everything with Kevin Owens, though, who was in his car. He was basically saying, listen, I was meant to be doing an interview with Michael Cole, but I don't want to get out in this weather in stupid Minnesota. So, Mike, if you want to interview me, you're going to have to come out here. And another small spoiler, that's exactly what did happen. And it may have been the highlight of the night. When we had another one of these, though, because I was in pain, and I realized, oh my gosh, this whole week in wrestling, especially WWE, has just made us want to suffer. But the stories are this good, I don't care. For it was the tag team title match between DIY and the Motor City Machine Guns, and of course, as soon as the bell rang, they went totally crazy, and we had some arms that were being dragged. I also think it's called an arm drag. It really didn't work for DIY, though, because Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin started doing their tag team stuff, and they're so damn good at it, which when Ciampa tagged in, he was like, look at me. I'm so angry, and I'm gonna murk the lot of you. He actually was successful at this when he yelled at Johnny Gargano, and by this point I was like, it's a lie, man. It's a lie. These two are in cahoots, and they always have been. The Machine Guns were able to throw them to the outside when they posed, and I was like, well, that's it. Anything that happens to you after this, Machine Guns, is on your ass. And the most powerful force in all of sports entertainment, the commercial break did hit. And surprise, surprise, when we came back, Tommaso Ciampa had applied a headlock. Now eventually Shelley wiggled and jiggled and got out of the way, which meant Ciampa hit Johnny Gargano. Now look, this was a legitimate mistake, but also bravo to WWE, because that was just a little bit of a, well, maybe they're not working together and they are going to fall out. But actually, no, it was a lie. It also allowed Chris Sabin to get the hot tag, and you know the deal with Christopher. He just ran wild, and he is a delight to watch. Those two are very good wrestlers. Now, Ciampa still tried to break some necks with some neck breakers when DIY got into it again. It's basically Gargano saying to Ciampa, dude, you're such a dickhead these days. What the hell is wrong with you? It was an art of fabrication though, even though they did start to shove each other. Because when Ciampa finally blew his top and went to get a chair, the ref had to be like, oh, Tommaso, man, I got kids to feed. Why can't you just obey the rules? But it meant even though the machine guns were about to go for skull and bones, Johnny Gargano was completely in the clear when he let us know what a piece of shit he is, because he booted Chris Sabin right in his testicles. Now, I thought Alex Shelley solved this wonderfully because, of course, he thought John Boy was his real friend. He shouldn't have done that, though, because he slowly walked up to Johnny Gargano, who super kicked him in his face. He started laughing. Tommaso Ciampa was over the moon when they hit the meat in the middle, and they beat the Motor City Machine Guns. We have brand new tag team champions. I was genuinely quite annoyed that the Machine Guns had lost their titles, but that is the whole point. If two people that I kind of respected all of a sudden do go bad guy, I shouldn't just be like, well, shrug emoji, who cares? Let the emotions bleed out of me. Other people too are a bit like, oh man, we changed the tag team titles too soon, but I also think that ties into the story. Also, I searched my feelings and I just disagree. I mean, at the end of the day, championships should be there to make the stories better, and that's exactly what we did here. I mean, DIY as a heel team, we have some serious potential. I also think the SmackDown tag team division is way better now than it was earlier in the year. It's like night and day. This was a good bit of business. Get it up. It got even funnier as well, because in the back, Johnny and Tommaso were celebrating when Candice LeRae walked in, who's also a piece of trash now. They're all like, yeah, we did it. Thought it was tremendous. When Kevin Owens won the night, I just love this guy. He is the modern day GOAT. Now, Michael Cole had gone to his car to interview him, but he wouldn't get in before he realized it was so cold. KO was like, dude, just get in the vehicle. It's warm and toasty in here. This is when Kevin made it clear the reason he didn't go into the building is because he keeps getting ushered away, so he has learned. But also, Mike, as you are here, you are the most biased commentator ever. Because you are Cody Rhodes' biggest fanboy. I mean, you've seen everything that's happened over the last 5 years. You know that Roman Reigns tried to kill me, and yet you continue to sign with Cody. It's a bunch of BS. Owens even took umbrage with the fact that Cody Rhodes keeps talking about how KO isn't happy with his standing. But what did Rhodes do in 2016 when he felt the same? He left WWE entirely. I was like, Kevin Owens, you're so damn good. He also somehow went from being super pissed off to super hilarious in a single sentence. And at one point, he's like, I tell you what makes me mad, that Cody Rhodes logo being everywhere. I laughed. Mike then tried to reason that it wasn't just Cody, because of course the Usos and Sami Zayn got involved. But Owens was like, I don't care about Jimmy and Jay. They're nothing but pawns of Roman. And as for Sami Zayn, well, we'll get to that later. I was doing the dance of joy. If we go back to that based on this story, my word, I'll have kittens. What? Cole doubled down though and said, no, Kev, you're still the issue. Which meant Owens right, get out of my car, leave my rental vehicle. I don't know why that was so funny, but I giggled like a child. Even more so when Owens went, Mike, come back to the car, and he closed the window in his face like that episode of The Simpsons. So I give this a massive round of applause, and I mean it. I think Kevin Owens is the best person in wrestling today. I mean, he really is everything I want from a wrestler, and now, given I am a wrestler, I just want to copy him, which is a really dumb thing to say. And please make him the WWE champion. Deep down in my Tootsie Toes, I don't think we are going to do that. But in terms of what this was, get it up. Now, I shall point out here throughout the night, we did see a bunch of Raw guys talking to Nick Aldis, including Dominic Mysterio, when Gunther was having a big old chat with him. So in walked Carmelo Hayes. He was like, man, what about me? I was the first round draft pick, and in fact, if you don't do something soon, Monday Night Mellow sounds very good. Like, actually, it does. Aldis tried to calm him down and said, don't worry, you absolute moron. I have a special something for you next week, or like a mystery opponent. Maybe it's Penta. I don't know. Otherwise, I have no idea. When we got a really good main event because it was Cody Rhodes versus Chad Gable and there was an extra story here, maybe Codes had bitten off more than he can chew, And now he's in trouble when it comes to Saturday night's main event. And that's mostly because after they did some wrestling and Cody hit the drop down punch, Chad was like, oh yeah, I'm a really good submission specialist. And he went after the leg, he even threw it into the ring post. And of course, that's the bad knee that Kevin Owens didn't attack last time. So next week, he's probably going to eat it. Chad then soon remembered he could use the ankle lock, but Cody was able to wiggle out of that one. Gable was like, I don't care, dude. I'm going to drop kick you in that area. And by this point, his wound was basically flashing red. Chad then made his first error because he went to the top of the team of the turnbuckle and Cody went and superplexed him instead when we got into the punches, but Rhodes was still able to hit the disaster kick. But do you know what happened when he landed? He was like, oh, my knee hurts. So once again, he's bitten off more than he can chew. Now early on, Ivy Nile had been grabbing Cody's leg, and here the Creeds were getting involved. So finally the ref was like, just go to the back. I've had this once, I can't have it again. This is when Gable went doubly crazy, because he looked at the situation and was like, well, if I take off the boot of Cody Rhodes, my ankle lock will be doubly as impressive and dangerous. It's like, Chad, you can't do that. You can't do an ankle lock to a naked foot. But he did. Now, Rhodes quickly shoved him off and got the Cody cutter, and then he went for the crossroads, but that didn't work, because somehow he was back in the ankle lock when we got more wiggling and jiggling, so Chad Gable hit a suplex, or a German suplex, for Gates. When he decided to go to the top rope and he went for the moonsault and he missed, I was like, damn it, Chad, what are you thinking? Well, actually, this was so damn awesome because he basically landed on his feet right into the crossroads, which he sold like he had been shot. Chad Gable is so good, as is Cody Rhodes. 1, 2, 3. Now, of course, Kevin Owens had left his rental vehicle as soon as this was happening. He got in the ring. My word, he went to town on Cody Rhodes. He was so happy this leg was dead. Officials tried to stop this, but as we do know, wrestling security sucks, so Cody just dove into the mess, which means we got this massive brawl, and they wouldn't stop fighting, to the point I guess the production crew went, well, it's the end of 2 hours, guys. We gotta go off the air. So this was really good fun, and of course ties into their Satellite's main event when you can start fantasy booking. So in terms of the match and the aftermath, I'm absolutely giving it an up. And in terms of SmackDown itself, that gets an up too. I don't know what's happened after Survivor Series, but right now, WWE is hitting it out the park. More importantly than all of this though, my friends, please do get in the comments below and let me know what you thought about last night's episode of SmackDown. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Click the video on the screen, which is my ups and downs for Monday Night Raw, but mostly, I really do appreciate you. And thank you to those who came out to my wrestling matches recently and said kind words. Makes me feel warm and fuzzy in my tum-tum. And I'll see you soon.